a famous Serenity prayer, which speaks to the delicate balance between acceptance and action, the foundation of maturity. Maturity isn't simply about age, it's about emotional and psychological development that allows us to respond to life's challenges with equanimity. True maturity manifests when we can face reality without distortion, accepting both our limitations and our potential. Mature individuals recognize that life contains elements beyond their control, weather patterns, other people's choices, historical events, genetic predispositions. These represent just a fraction of what we must accept rather than fight against. The mature person doesn't waste energy raging against immovable forces, but instead conserves that energy for meaningful change. The art of acceptance. Acceptance doesn't mean resignation or passivity. Rather, it represents a clear-eyed acknowledgement of reality as it currently exists. When we accept what we cannot change, we free ourselves from the suffering that comes with futile resistance. Consider health challenges. If diagnosed with a chronic condition, fighting against the reality of the diagnosis only adds psychological suffering to physical discomfort. Acceptance means acknowledging, this is my current situation, which then creates space to work constructively within those parameters. Acceptance also applies to our past. We cannot change historical events or decisions already made. Maturity means acknowledging mistakes without being defined by them, understanding our history without being imprisoned by it. The necessity of courage. While acceptance is vital, equally important is the courage to change what lies within our power. Courage isn't the absence of fear but action despite fear. It's the willingness to step into uncertainty for the sake of growth and improvement. This courage manifests in various ways. Speaking truth when silence would be easier. Setting boundaries in relationships despite potential conflict. Pursuing meaningful goals despite the risk of failure. Challenging injustice despite potential backlash. Changing course when current paths prove unhealthy. Courage acknowledges that meaningful change often requires discomfort. The mature person doesn't seek comfort above all else, but recognizes that growth happens at the edge of our comfort zones. The discernment of wisdom. Perhaps most challenging is developing the wisdom to distinguish between what we can and cannot change. This discernment isn't acquired instantly, but develops through experience, reflection, and often learning from mistakes. Wisdom recognizes nuance. Few situations are entirely within or beyond our control. Instead, most contain elements of both. For example, in relationships, we cannot control another person's feelings or choices, but we can control our own behavior, communication, and boundaries. Wisdom also acknowledges timing. Sometimes something that cannot be changed today might become changeable tomorrow as circumstances evolve. The wise person remains patient, watching for opportunities while accepting current limitations. The integration in daily life. When these three qualities, acceptance, courage, and wisdom, work in harmony, we experience a profound sense of agency balanced with humility. This integration manifests in several ways. Emotional regulation. We experience less frustration about unchangeable circumstances while channeling emotional energy toward productive change. Effective problem solving. We don't waste resources on unsolvable problems, but direct our attention to areas where progress is possible. Healthier relationships. We accept others' autonomy while courageously addressing issues within our control, such as our own behavior and boundaries. Greater resilience. When setbacks occur, we can discern which aspects require acceptance and which invite action. Authentic living. We stop performing for others' approval, which we cannot control, while courageously expressing our authentic selves. The ongoing journey. This balance isn't achieved once and maintained effortlessly. Rather, It represents an ongoing practice. Some days we may lean too heavily toward passive acceptance, while other days we might exhaust ourselves trying to change the unchangeable. The mature person doesn't expect perfection in this balance, but commits to the practice. Each situation becomes an opportunity to refine our discernment, to cultivate deeper acceptance where needed, and to summon courage when change is possible. Conclusion: maturity, at its essence, involves this dance between acceptance and action. Guided by wisdom's discerning light, it's recognizing that true power doesn't come from controlling everything, but from wisely directing our energy toward what matters and what can truly be influenced. As you navigate your own journey, remember that this wisdom develops gradually. Be patient with yourself when you occasionally tilt too far toward futile resistance or passive resignation. The very recognition of these imbalances demonstrates the growth of wisdom. The mature person ultimately finds peace not in perfect circumstances, but in this balanced approach to life's challenges, accepting with grace, changing with courage, and discerning with wisdom which path to walk in each moment. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be updated for more inspiring content. You can also leave a comment and share the video so that we could reach and inspire more people. Thank you, and to God be all the glory.